You might have heard over the last couple of months that the Daily Stormer has been on the receiving end of some really expensive lightning bolts thrown at them in court by some of their past victims. In June, it was comedian and commentator Dean Obeidallah. A couple of years ago, Dean Obeidallah had written a column for the Daily Beast in which he described a bunch of murders that had been committed in the first year of Donald Trump's presidency by killers who had expressed white supremacist beliefs or motives. The column said in part, quote, "Trump refuses to call these acts what they are, white supremacist terrorism." Well, the neo-Nazis at the Daily Stormer, a website that, it should be noted, endorsed Donald Trump for president, they did not like that criticism against President Trump in that column by Dean Obeidallah, and they responded the following day by making up some fake tweets that they attributed to Mr. Obeidallah. And they published those fake tweets online, which made it look like Mr. Obeidallah was actually a terrorist. They had these fake tweets made where he appeared to be taking credit for various violent terrorist attacks around the globe, using this false information that they put online. They then directed white supremacist trolls and neo-Nazis around the country and around the world to go get Dean Obeidallah and to go threaten him, which of course they did to massive and terrifying effect. Well, you can't necessarily do that. And in June, a federal judge handed down a $4.1 million judgment against the Daily Stormer, against that neo-Nazi website and the guy who runs it, ordering the website and its publisher to pay $4.1 million to Dean Obeidallah. Now, it is a good question as to whether or not they're going to be able to get that money and how. But Mr. Obeidallah told the New York Times in response to that judge's ruling that he full-on plans to pursue all of their assets in the United States. Quote, "We want to collect some money because that's a more powerful message than just a judgment on paper. We're going to give their money to organizations that fight white supremacy, run by the very people these guys hate, like Muslims, African Americans, Jewish Americans, and the LGBTQ community." That was June. Then in July, last month, happened again. The same neo-Nazi outfit and its same publisher was hit this time with a $14 million judgment for having directed an anti-Semitic terror campaign against a Jewish woman in Montana who ran a business in the hometown of white supremacist leader Richard Spencer.